champions. So this time we're going to progress things on from the ball release, from the glute release. So we're looking at healthy hip function again, just like it was the previous week, but now we're focusing less on the adductors and more on the glutes. So the first move, of which I think you all know, is that glute release is where you can sit down onto the ball. Again, find your tender spot. You might have to help your weights in your arms and legs. And then remember that we can go into that open hip as well. So we're hopefully hitting all the gluteals. We don't have to worry too much about that, but also the deeper piriformis muscle that can get incredibly tight for us as runners. Work through, I like to roll through, find the tender spot and then work 20-30 seconds. I would tend to stay static in the glute just because it's just such a precise and smaller area, and then roll back out through. So maybe a minute or two, and then of course on the other side there as well. From that, we're going to further increase that mobility into the glute. We're going to do pigeon mobility. Now you want the leg up into this kind of right angle position. The back leg just goes straight back. Now, it's fine to be off the floor, especially if your hip's tight like mine is there, but what we're trying to do is keep square through the hips. The reason it's mobility and not a stretch is I want you to move in 3 planes again. So you're going to go down and then up, down as though you're bowing, and then up and then down through there. So again, left, middle, and then right, and then into that other side. So again, about a right angle through there, back leg goes straight back, and you go in 1, 2, 3. But ultimately you're trying to keep that hip square and not let your body fall out of that stretch. So pigeon mobility. The next one, we're going to go into a bit of activation. So hopefully we've mobilized there. We're going to go through this hip rotation here, okay? So ultimately, again, like other things we've done in the past, like the quadruped hip extension, you're trying to avoid too much flexion or hyperextension. Pull in the core, keep it tight, and only work to where you can get that. So we don't want the back and the spine rolling out, okay? So from that position, I'm recommending 10 one way, and then you would reverse the direction and go 10 into that other position. So again, from this side, turning out, or from this way and moving out into that hip, okay? After those, you're going to go into a glute kickback, and that's going to go straight back out. So again, avoiding that hyperextension. Think about keeping the toe pointed down, keep the core tight, just bringing it in and out. So just avoid the touchdown with the floor, and then nice and tight. Again, the quadruped hip extension's a nice one, but sometimes you'll find you get a much better glute activation straightening the leg, not with it bent like in that hip extension. So here, glute kickback, keep the core tight to try and focus on that neutral spine. Again, I'm recommending 10 each side through there. And the last one, again for activation, but also to hit through the hip flexor to get some flexibility, mobility and activation working hand in hand again here as you're stepping back, trying to touch down towards the floor, and then coming into that extension squeeze, which you know I love so much. You can go alternate legs, stepping back, and then up again into that standing extension squeeze, which you all know very well now. So down, looking to work that back hip flexor, keep the chest high, and then into this position. So side on, stepping back, trying to fight for that chest up, getting this hip flexor nicely stretched, and then up, knees lock, glutes lock, core's tight, squeeze through them shoulder blades. Remember them shoulder blades working through, nice and tight. So again, 4 good movements, progressing things on from that glute release first and foremost, into the pigeon mobility, and then into the hip rotations and kickbacks to look at that activation, and again, hip flexor mobility into glute function again. Healthy hips is what we're after as runners. Have a go, comment beneath, let me know how you get on with this drill this week. Thank you.